So feedback gives completion to one cycle of communication and helps to start another communication. So effective or ineffective, successful or unsuccessful, it is understood with the feedback. फीडबैक से हमको एक मैसेज का क्वालिटी के बारे में पता चलता है, whether the message is इफ़ेक्टिव, यानी कि मैसेज रिसीवर को अंडरस्टैंड हुआ है या फिर अंडरस्टैंड नहीं हुआ है, सबके बारे में हम फीडबैक से पता कर सकते हैं. एंड देन वी विल सी when the receiver gets the message and decodes it, he or she understands it either completely or partially. Based on his or her understanding, the receiver gives answer. Feedback to the sender. Feedback suggests to the sender whether the message needs more simplified or explained, or it is adopted. So it's according to the decoding that the receiver will understand whether the sender has understood the message properly or not. And decoding का मतलब क्या हुआ है? It means that explaining. It means explanation. Whatever you do, whether can it be explained or not. So when a feedback is given, it should be encouraging and helpful to the development of communication. It should not discourage, or it should not be. So the given feedback should be relevant. जब भी हम feedback देते हैं, feedback must not discourage the sender. It must be encouraging. The feedback must encourage them. This is how it goes. The timely given feedback helps to make desired or required changes in communication. Any delayed feedback generally does not get the expected effect. So जब हमको feedback चाहिए तभी we have to give the, when the sender asks for feedback, at that time we have to give the feedback. If we give the delayed feedback, there won't be any effectiveness, even though your feedback is reasonable. So on time when it is needed, you have to give it. Then we'll see about the chapter 2, types of communication. Communication is a very regular activity. How it is carried out is what way or manner it is formed, between whom it is performed. According to that, there are different types of communication. So we'll see the different types of communication. कितने type of communication होता है? The first and foremost type that we will see is formal communication. Second one, informal communication, verbal communication, non-verbal communication, vertical communication, horizontal communication, and the last one, diagonal communication. So what is formal communication? It's communication which is bound to certain rules and principles. जो communication होते हैं, communication जिसमें थोड़ा बहुत rules and principles होते हैं, उसको हम formal communication बोलते हैं, और formal letter भी हम उसको बोल सकते हैं. यानी कि मान लीजिए कि अगर हम एक लेटर लिख रहे हैं कॉलेज के प्रिंसिपल, स्कूल के प्रिंसिपल या फिर आपके क्लास टीचर के लिए, सो वो लेटर कौन से टाइप में होगा? इट विल बी इन फॉर्मल कम्युनिकेशन में रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस, रूल्स एंड प्रिंसिपल्स होते हैं, तो उसको फॉलो करना इम्पॉर्टेंट होते हैं. सो फॉर्मल कम्युनिकेशन, it is bound to particular topic, requires to use the formal or official language. Since it is structured and bound to a topic, there is no scope for the expression of personal feelings. Most of the organization communication is in the formal way. जो फॉर्मल कम्युनिकेशन होता है उसमें रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस होते हैं, प्रिंसिपल्स होते हैं, तो इसी की वजह से वो कम्युनिकेशन इतना इंटरेस्टिंग नहीं होता है, क्योंकि उसमें हम हमारा एक्सप्रेशंस या फिर कुछ भी पर्सनल बातें को वहाँ पे हम शेयर नहीं कर सकते हैं. सो हियर सी द एग्जाम्पल. The principal communicating with the staff in a meeting. A student is answering to a question asked in an oral exam. The finance minister presenting the annual budget in the parliament. So all these things we call it as formal way of communication. The formal communication is used to convey management decisions, planning, order, notices, suggestions or demands from employees, etc. So in formal communications also we have certain advantages and disadvantages. It is precise and exact, therefore the scope of any misunderstanding is very less. Okay, formal communication precise होता है. precise मतलब to the point, जो बोलना है सिर्फ वही उसमें कन्वे करते हैं, और उसमें मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग का कुछ भी स्कोप नहीं होगा. मैनेजमेंट फंक्शंस आर इजीली कैरिड आउट थ्रू फॉर्मल कम्युनिकेशन. मैनेजमेंट जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन कंपनियां होते हैं उसमें फॉर्मल कम्युनिकेशन वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट होते हैं, क्योंकि अगर उसमें हम इनफॉर्मल कम्युनिकेशन यूज़ करेंगे तो एक प्रॉपर प्रोफेशनलिज्म वहाँ पे नहीं बनेगा. सो सिंस इट कम्स फ्रॉम अथॉरिटीज इट इज़ ऑथेंटिक एंड ट्रस्टवर्दी. ऑथेंटिक का मतलब हम उसको विश्वास कर सकते हैं, because it comes from the authority. It gets the feedback immediately. Formal communication is brief and exact and thus it helps to save time. Brief होता है, short and sweet होता है, और exact to the point होता है, so it helps to save the time. It is topic bound and has rules or principles to stick to, therefore it is not much interesting. So it brings orders or decision from management. It is not much liked by the employees. Because of rules, principles and certain format, formal communication is not much flexible. It requires particular language and form, and all communication are not equally skilled or competent to use it. So we will see about informal communication. So in order to understand the friends or colleagues, formal communication is very useful, and we also call informal communication as a grape wine communication. हम informal communication को grape wine communication करके भी बोल सकते हैं. क्यों grape wine communication करके बोल सकते हैं? बिकॉज वाइन जो होता है, जब एक व्यक्ति पी लेता है तो उसके पास उसका जो भी बात करता है उसके बारे में उसको तमीज़ नहीं होता है, होश नहीं होता है. तो उसके वजह से वो क्या करता है, जो भी उसको मन में आता है, जो भी उसको याद में आता है, उसको ऐसे बोल देता है. तो इसीलिए हम उसको ग्रेप वाइन कम्युनिकेशन बोलते हैं. और ग्रेप वाइन कम्युनिकेशन हमेशा ऑथेंटिकेट नहीं होता है. उसका मतलब क्या, हम उसको भरोसा नहीं कर सकते हैं. पर फॉर्मल कम्युनिकेशन ऐसे नहीं है, हम उसको भरोसा कर सकते हैं. ग्रेप वाइन कम्युनिकेशन को इतना जल्दी भरोसा नहीं कर सकते, क्योंकि वो जो कम्युनिकेशन होता है दोस्तों को आपस में होता है, क्लोज रिलेटिव्स के आपस में होता है. तो इसलिए हम उसको भरोसा नहीं कर सकते हैं. पर फॉर्मल कम्युनिकेशन इज़ ऑलवेज ट्रस्टवर्दी, क्योंकि जो फॉर्मल कम्युनिकेशन होता है वो दोस्तों के साथ बहुत कम होता है, बल्कि वो सारे जो अथॉरिटीज़ होते हैं उनके साथ ही फॉर्मल कम्युनिकेशन ज़्यादातर होता है. जैसे फॉर्मल कम्युनिकेशन होते हैं, वैसे इनफॉर्मल कम्युनिकेशन का कुछ रूल्स एंड रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज़, रूल्स एंड प्रिंसिपल्स नहीं होते हैं. पर फॉर्मल कम्युनिकेशन में रूल्स एंड प्रिंसिपल्स तो पक्का होता ही है. सो इट इज़ नॉट मच ट्रस्टवर्दी फॉर्म ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन. विच वन? इनफॉर्मल कम्युनिकेशन. Rumors can be spread through it. It may not be much helpful in creating responsible image of a person. Through informal communication, personal weakness may be exposed. The quality and speed of work can be adversely affected through it. So it is very important for you to have your notes handy. जो आपने क्लास में सीखा है, आपके पास नोट्स तो पक्का होना ही है और होगा करके उम्मीद रखती हूँ. तो ये पढ़ने के टाइम में आप आपका नोट्स रख लीजिए. आपके पास नोट्स होता तो आपको रेफ़र करने का इजी हो जाएगा. नोट्स और आपके टेक्स्ट बुक रख सकते हो और रेफरेंस के लिए बहुत इजी हो जाता है, आसान पड़ जाता है आपको पढ़ने के लिए. नेक्स्ट विल सी वर्बल कम्युनिकेशन. कम्युनिकेशन थ्रू स्पोकन, oral or written words is called as verbal communication. Language is the most common medium used to express ideas. Thus, verbal communication is mostly used to convey the messages. Verbal communication is largely used in public gatherings, seminars, exams, etc. There are two types of verbal communication. First one is oral communication. The second one is written communication. You see, what is oral communication? Communication through spoken words are called as oral communication. Any person who has a speech ability evidently uses oral communication. In oral communication, selection of proper words, sound, quality, audibility, voice modulation are very important. Most of the teaching, lectures, presentation, speeches, etc. use oral communication on extensive scale. So we'll see the advantages of oral communication. Message is easily and promptly conveyed to the receiver. It gets quick feedback. Because of expressions, voice modulation, oral communication is interesting and appealing. It does not consume more time to convey the message. तो मैसेज क्या होता है ओरल कम्युनिकेशन में? ईज़िली और करेक्टली डिलीवर हो जाता है रिसीवर को. टू गेट क्विक फीडबैक, इट गेट्स द क्विक फीडबैक. ओरल कम्युनिकेशन में फीडबैक हमको बहुत जल्दी मिल जाता है. बिकॉज ऑफ एक्सप्रेशन, जो कि ओरल कम्युनिकेशन में हम थोड़ा एक्सप्रेशन सब दे सकते हैं, वॉइस मॉड्यूलेशन, डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ वॉइस चेंज कर सकते हैं. तो इसीलिए क्या होगा, इट बिकम्स वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग एंड अपीलिंग. And as well as it will not consume more time to convey the message. मैसेज बोलने के लिए बहुत ज़्यादा टाइम ये कभी भी नहीं लेगा. अगर जो सेंडर होता है, जो भी समझाता है रिसीवर को, अगर उसका वे ऑफ एक्सप्लेनेशन प्रॉपर होता है तो पक्का उसको उस कॉन्सेप्ट में डाउट ही नहीं होगा. It has flexibility in it, becomes interactive. There is scope for explanation if required. एक्सटेंडेड एंड कभी कभी ओरल कम्युनिकेशन एक्सटेंड हो सकता है और इसकी वजह से उसका टाइम भी बहुत कंज्यूम भी हो सकता है, टाइम कंज्यूम भी ज़्यादा हो सकता है। written communication is much carefully formed. Documents can be used again and again. For more understanding, it can be referred from time to time, and to convey lengthy and important messages. Written communication is very useful to reach to many receivers in different parts. Communication is very useful. It is also considered as a legal proof, therefore it is much trustworthy. It is more accurate, therefore the chances of misunderstandings are very, very less. And there are also disadvantages for written communication, as it cannot be used in the midst of illiterate people because it does not get the immediate feedback, lacks the power of expression that oral communication has. Immediate corrections cannot be done to it. If any punctuational mistake or wrong word or spelling mistake is in the written communication, it fails to make the expected impression. Written communication takes more time when compared with the oral communication. Since there is no use of body language, voice modulation, etc., written communication is not much expressive. As we know, oral communication is a bit more interesting when we compare it with the written communication. Oral communication is interesting because there we have certain voice modulation, we involve certain expressions and so on, and that's why it becomes very interesting. Whereas in written communication that won't happen, because written communication will convey only words included in the sentence, and that only conveys a meaning. Whereas oral communication, that's the verbal communication, will add some more extra expressions, that becomes like adding some more spices to your, or adding some more masalas to your dish, so it becomes spicy and interesting. Next we will see non-verbal communication. So communication through expressions, body movements, sounds, signs, symbols without words are called as non-verbal communication. Non-verbal communication is also as expressive as non-verbal communication is also expressive as, in some cases, more expressive than verbal communication. In it, graphs, charts, sounds, colors, symbols, bodily movements, silence, etc. are effectively used. Thumbs up communicates good wishes, congratulation, or approval. There are two types of non-verbal communication. First one is body language. The second one is visual or graphic language. Body language includes posture, facial expression, eye contact, present, appearance, silence. What is posture? It is a positional or balancing the body while sitting or standing. Posture indicates confidence, courage, attitude, hesitation, inclination towards someone or something, etc. When a speaker stands erect, shoulders up, it suggests the speaker's confidence, courage, preparedness, etc. But if the speaker holds the mic or slouches shoulders, etc., it shows the nervousness, inconfidence, etc. Facial expressions. Words may lie, but expressions don't. Pleasure, happiness, surprise, sorrow, worry, regret, anger, hatred, love, satisfaction, excitement, nervousness, etc. are clearly communicated through facial expressions. Expressions on face appear naturally, but they add more to the meaning of the words. Eye contact. In face-to-face communication, eye contact is very important. Why? Because if you don't have proper eye contact, the sender will not have any kind of interest to listen to your speech, no matter how well prepared it might be. So having a proper eye contact is very important. And also receiving face-to-face communication, eye contact is very much important. Eye contact makes sending and receiving of the message easy. Because of the eye contact, sender can create good rapport with the receiver. That's what, if the sender does not have the proper eye contact with the receiver, his or her message will not be delivered effectively, because eye contact creates friendliness, it creates the sense of quick response, and so on. Eye contact helps the sender to express the message clearly. It is through eye contact the receivers can easily give the feedback to the sender. Dress and appearance. Proper or suitable dress code and appearance help to create an impression about the speaker or sender. Dress reflects the profession, choice, occasion, status, etc. Dress is very important in order to get the respect from the others. So it depends on which profession that you stay in. Dress is very important. If you are a teacher, there's a separate dress code when you come for your job. If you are an engineer, there is a separate dress code. If you are a doctor, there's a different dress code. So for each and everything, there's a different dress code, and it's important for everyone. If you're willing to gain respect from others, it's important for you to have a proper dress code. Then we'll see silence. Silence helps to communicate larger and deeper meaning. It is said, speech is silver, silence is golden. Okay, so sometimes it is good for you to stay calm in certain situations. It is not always good for you to open your mouth and give the answer, because when you are very eager to give the answers, and there is a gateway for the new problem. So it's not much advisable to give out the answer every time. So appearance should be noteworthy. That's dress and appearance, which we have already completed. Silence communicates extreme happiness or sorrow. If a person has complete knowledge about something or no knowledge about at all, person observes silence. So visual or graphic communication, the message which is transmitted through graphs and charts, signs and symbols, maps and plans, tables, posters, colors, film strips, pictograms, etc. is called as graphic communication. So जो भी कम्युनिकेशन हम ये जो सामान के द्वारा हम कम्युनिकेट करते हैं, इस सबको हम विजुअल और ग्राफिक कम्युनिकेशन बोलते हैं. नेक्स्ट वन, we'll see about vertical communication. In the organization, communication flows from upper to lower level and from lower to upper level. It is vertical communication. कम्युनिकेशन जो ऊपर से नीचे आता है और नीचे से ऊपर जाता है, उसको हम वर्टिकल कम्युनिकेशन बोलते हैं. और वर्टिकल कम्युनिकेशन में 2 टाइप्स होते हैं. फर्स्ट वन इज अपवर्ड कम्युनिकेशन, सेकेंड वन इज डाउनवर्ड कम्युनिकेशन. What is upward communication? So advantages of upward communication. What is upward communication? Communication from lower level to higher level, we call it as upward communication. When an employee gives some suggestion to the employer, a student communicates with the teacher or the principal, we call it as upward communication. It is mostly brief, not very detailed, okay, formal in nature and precise. Advantages of upward communication. Employees express their opinions or views. They feel they are the part of the organization. It creates good relationship between employees, workers and authorities. The lower level communicators get to say in planning of decision making. Because of different suggestions from the lower level worker, their views are understood. The employees or workers get satisfaction of their contribution. So क्या होता है, जब कम्युनिकेशन नीचे से ऊपर जाता है, जैसे कि कम्युनिकेशन एक लेबर जो होता है, जो वर्कर होता है, अपने मालिक से कुछ बोलता है, तो उसको हम अपवर्ड कम्युनिकेशन बोलते हैं। और इसकी वजह से क्या होता है, जो वर्कर होता है उसको भी बहुत सारा चांस मिलता है उसके व्यूज़ और ओपिनियन को एक्सप्रेस करने के लिए। So if the worker's views are not seriously attended, wrong message may spread across them. These are the limitations of upward communication. Limitation का मतलब disadvantages. Because of the pressure of the superior, lower level worker don't communicate frankly. And employees don't open or frankly communicate, so their views are not properly understood. If the views are frank communication of the employees is not positively taken by the management, it may create some problem to the employees. Now we'll see about the downward communication. Flow of communication from the higher level or authorities to the lower level workers is called as downward communication. Communication between a manager and clerk, principal and peon, prime minister and member of the parliament, etc. It is generally brief, authoritative and assertive. So it is authentic in nature, receives respect from the employees. Organizational decisions, orders, etc. are passed through downward communication. Downward communication is generally very clear, can create healthy working environment. And there are certain limitations for downward communication. Since it comes from authorities, it's kind of binding to all workers. Workers are mostly doubtful about this communication. Downward communication cannot cover all the related topics. If the workers have any doubts about it, they don't respond positively. Who don't respond? The owner, sometimes they don't respond properly. So that's why sometimes the downward communication is not much approachable. And In the next video we will see about diagonal communication, and I hope that you have understood that I have read out in this video. Since all these things have been taught before, I hope that a quick gist of remembrance is more than enough, like we had in this video. So please make sure that you don't stop reading. Anytime the exams may resume, don't stop reading and make use of your notes. Take your textbook and always get in touch with your textbooks and syllabus. And thank you so much. And here we will end this video, and in the next video we will see about diagonal communication and horizontal communication. And then we'll go to the chapter 3, and even chapter 3 we have covered up during the college days, and I believe that it is good even to have a quick gist, like revision in the upcoming videos. Don't forget to follow up my videos, and better stay at home and stay safe. Thank you.